Welcome back to How to Start a Cannabis Farm. Step 2, Laws, Zoning, Property, Land Use Compatibility Statement, or LUX, Property Overlays, and Water Rights. So we will just jump right in with laws. Obviously, federal, states, you get the fucking picture. Next. Is your state medical currently? Are they medical going rec? Or do they have anything? You get the fucking picture. I'm just going to skip over all this shit. So, one of the big questions is also, whenever we're getting into this, how does your state view cannabis? For instance, here in Oregon, cannabis, and specifically hemp, is looked at as an agricultural crop. And this has quite a few implications simply because of that. For instance, it can't be grown for commercial purposes on some types of land. In my specific county, Jackson County, and as Josephine County as well, which is the county, I guess, technically to the west of Jackson County, there are some issues regarding rural residential zoning and commercial cannabis farming. One of them being that rural residential zoning was meant to be residential zoning, however, due to the quote-unquote rural nature of the area, essentially the state allowed for certain, or I guess maybe the county allowed for certain privileges or just extra freedoms because of their vicinity towards everybody else. Sorry, you might hear my dog doing some stuff in the background. So because of that, right now in Josephine County, they actually tried to take all of the, I guess, cultivation privileges away from everybody that was living on rural residential land. Previously, they allowed it. Now they don't. But the state allowed it. And so now the county is taking the state to federal court over all of this, stating that, well, none of this even matters because federally it's still illegal. So yeah, this is the first time, and it's quite unfortunate that a county within our own state is taking us to court. Anyways, so does your state view cannabis as an agricultural crop like Oregon, or do they view it as a drug needing millions of dollars of oversight similar to Texas? Things like this may dictate some of the types of properties that are available in your state based on zoning restrictions and whatnot. And that's one of the ways that I'm not going to go so far as to keep people out. However, it's definitely done so. And I say they, I mean local and state governments are limiting access to this industry through zoning. Some of it may be intentional. However, in some of the areas, like for instance, Josephine County, I came in kind of late, and so I got to see this from an outside perspective. I wasn't one of the ones that was quote unquote getting fucked. I just saw the fucking happen and realized, at least in my opinion, I don't think they were going after them, but obviously you can tell right now that they are, especially because they're taking the state to court. Now, obviously, your state or your county should have some sort of website. They should. Sometimes they don't because they're extremely behind. Now I'm just going to say this up front. Do not be surprised if the people in your planning department or your building department have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Everybody's going through this growth all at once, and it's their responsibility to figure things out, and they already have a job. That's not their job. That's just part of it. However, our jobs as farmers or just professional get shit doners is to fucking get shit done. And so we have to figure this out. And so I'm just FYI, don't be surprised when things move a little bit slower than you anticipate. Simply because of lack of communication and lack of understanding. Now, one of the things that's happened in other states and whatnot has been counties opting out of recreational cultivation or opting out of outdoor cultivation specifically, which means, yes, you would be allowed to grow in a greenhouse, but essentially they're just various limits for various reasons. Some things that they'll do is they may even add extra requirements or setbacks before you're approved or before you're allowed to build out, just as an FYI. And again, they should also have a similar website directing you to the appropriate people, rules, and hopefully a frequently asked questions page.